We are live from Denver, Colorado, inside Sports Authority Field at Mile High as the Denver Broncos host the Oakland Raiders in this Week 4 edition of NFL Football on AMN. This presentation is brought to you by Dunder Mifflin, quality paper at a quality price. Dunder Mifflin, the official paper supplier of AMN. As the Raiders looking to bounce back off of last week's first loss of the season, and the Broncos looking to get to 500 themselves, as the Raiders looking to avoid it here on Sunday, as Seabass will be looking to kick this one back. Emmanuel Sanders back to return, and we are underway here inside the Sports Authority Field, as that will be a touchback going into the back of the end zone. And so the Broncos will start off at their own 25-yard line. And so now out comes Trevor Siemian, the third-year pro out of Northwestern. Last week he threw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in the loss to Buffalo, looking to lead the Broncos to victory this time, as the Broncos come out at their own 25. Single back set, 2 tight ends over on the weak side. Handoff goes to Anderson on the misdirection, and he's met immediately by a couple of Raiders. Mario Edwards Jr. with a tackle. And we'll take a look at this Broncos offense. On the offensive line, Garrett Bowles, Alan Barbre, Matt Paredes, Ron Leary, and Menelik Watson. And the weapons in the backfield, CJ Anderson and Jamal Charles. On the outside, Emmanuel Sanders and Demarius Thomas with Virgil Green as the tight end, rounding out the starting 11 for the Denver Broncos. And so that they come out second down and 10, another misdirection concept, and CJ Anderson has some room. First down and more out to the 38-yard line for CJ Anderson, as Bruce Irvin brought him down. And last week, CJ Anderson had 17 carries for 75 yards and a score. Looking to have another solid week this week, as Siemian under pressure and taken down, blitzed by Corey James and Bruce Irvin, who both made the sack. And we'll take a look at this Raiders defense. As the defensive line on the edges, we have Khalil Mack and Mario Edwards Jr. with Eddie Vanderdoes and Justin Ellis in the interior. And in the linebacking core, Bruce Irvin, Corey James, and PJ Dawson. And in the secondary, the cornerbacks, David Amerson and Garyon Conley, with the safeties, Reggie Nelson and Carl Joseph. Rounding out the starting 11 on defense for the Raiders. It's third down and 5, shotgun formation for the Broncos. Charles in the game, and that pass is off the mark, intended for Benny Fowler the third, over on the right sideline. And so the Broncos will punt it back to the Raiders, as out comes A.J. McCarron, the fourth-year pro out of Alabama, acquired via trade from the Bengals for E.J. Manuel, and their 6th rounder this year, as Derek Carr is out this week with an injury, and out for at least 2 more weeks. As a handoff goes to Marshawn Lynch on the first play of the game for the Raiders, and he's met by a bunch of Bronco defenders, but has a solid gain of 7 yards on the play. And so we'll take a look at this Raiders offense. On the offensive line, Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, Rodney Hudson, and Gabe Jackson and Marshall Newhouse. And the weapons in the backfield, Marshawn Lynch and Jalen Richard. On the outside, Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree with Jared Cook as the tight end. And so now, second down and 3 for the Raiders. Out of the shotgun, handoff to Lynch, and he's met immediately by Derek Wolfe and a couple of Bronco defenders. As we'll take a look at this Broncos defense on the defensive line. Derek Wolfe, Damata Pecco, and Zach Kerr, the defensive linemen in the linebacking core. On the edges, we have Shaq Barrett and Von Miller with Brandon Marshall and Todd Davis in the interior. And in the secondary, we have Chris Harris Jr. and Akeem Talib as the corners, and the safeties, Darian Stewart and Keith Tandy. And so now third down and 2 for the Raiders. Shotgun formation, Lynch still in the game, as McCarron, rolling out of the pocket, has an open receiver, but he's taken down by Von Miller before he can get the ball out, as that's the first full accredited sack of the season for Von Miller. And so the Raiders will punt it back to the Broncos, who will be taken over in Raiders territory at the 40-yard line. Handoff goes to Anderson up the middle, and he's met by Bruce Irvin. CJ Anderson so far with 4 carries for 30 yards, but tackled by Bruce Irvin once more. And so third down and 5 now for the Broncos. Charles in the backfield. Siemian looking on the outside, and he has Benny Fowler with the catch, as he's the Broncos' leading receiver on the season so far, and he has the first down out to the 23-yard line, as that is where the Broncos will take over second down and 4. Single back set, Siemian drops back to throw over the middle and is caught by Emmanuel Sanders, as he beat the cover 3 zone concept and gets down to the 1-yard line for the Broncos, as they are looking to punch it in with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. As Siemian, empty backfield, rolling out of the pocket on the run, and that pass is incomplete, dropped by Benny Fowler, as he found separation and just dropped the pass. That would have been an easy touchdown for the Broncos. As Siemian goes play action, looking for a receiver, and picked off by the rookie Markel Lee. Markel Lee picks off the pass with AJ Derby, the intended receiver, and that's his 2nd interception on the season and the 2nd of his NFL career. as it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Defensive showdown to start the first, as after one, it's 0-0. This is NFL football on AMN. This presentation of NFL football is brought to you by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies. And so we are back here to start the second quarter on this game between the Raiders and the Broncos here in week 4. As the Raiders come out, single back set, 2 tight ends. Over on the strong side, handoff goes to Lynch up the middle, and he runs over Derek Wolfe. But he gets a solid gain of around 4 yards. So far, 7 carries for 46 yards for beast mode. And so that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 now for the Raiders. It's McCarron out of the shotgun, Jalen Richard in the backfield. 3 wide set. It's McCarron back to throw, under pressure by Von Miller, but finds Cordero Patterson over the middle as he's hit by Von Miller. As he beat Brandon Marshall and Keith Tandy in coverage, and they both bring him down. And so the handoff goes to Lynch on 1st down, as that is a nice gain of around 7 for Marshawn Lynch. But there's a flag, and it'll be holding on Donald Penn, as that'll bring the Raiders back a few yards. So 2nd down and 19 for the Raiders. McCarron out of the shotgun, Lynch in the backfield, as McCarron under pressure, and he looks over the middle for Jared Cook, but he can't hold on. Darian Stewart on the defense, and that pass is incomplete. So 3rd down and 19 now for the Raiders. As AJ McCarron still in the shotgun, 3 wide set, Jalen Richard in the backfield. As McCarron back to throw, plenty of time in the pocket, looking over the right sideline, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Michael Crabtree and defended by Keith Tandy. As AJ McCarron has only completed 2 of his first 6 passes. It's the Broncos defense ranked number 5, and playing that classic Broncos defense that we saw in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. As Simeon looks for Benny Fowler on the outside, as he has pushed out by TJ Carey. 2nd catch of the game for Benny Fowler. Dropped a touchdown pass in the first quarter. But 3rd down and 3 now for the Broncos. Simeon looking sideline, and he has Emmanuel Sanders. A gain of 11 for E-Man Sand. So far 2 catches for 33 yards. And a 1st down for the Broncos. And so now Broncos come out, single back set, 3 tight ends. Handoff goes to Anderson, tries to make a man miss, but brought down by Reggie Nelson. Now up to 8 carries for 60 yards on the game. And so the Broncos looking to move the ball into the end zone this drive. 2nd down and 5. Handoff goes to Charles. He has some room, spins out a defender, and gets out to around the 25-yard line. His first carry of the game as he's brought down by Reggie Nelson, as he now has 29 carries for 181 yards on the season. And so the Broncos come out, single back set. Handoff goes to Anderson, jukes out a defender, and he's brought down by TJ Carey, as that's a short gain of around 5 for CJ Anderson. And so 3rd down and 5 now for the Broncos. 3 wide set. Demarius Thomas on the inside. Simeon going play action. Plenty of time in the pocket. Looking through the end zone, and picked off by Garyon Conley, a rookie out of Ohio State with his first career INT, replacing the injured Sean Smith this week, as he sat on that pass from Simeon and picked it off for the 2nd turnover of the game, forced by the Raiders. As that'll take us to halftime, a defensive battle after the first half. Broncos came close multiple times, but gave the ball away in those times that they had chances. And so now for the first half stats, Raiders with 138 total yards, and the Broncos with 146 total first half yards. And so the Raiders first half leaders, passing, we have AJ McCarron, 5 of 12 for 65 yards and an interception. Rushing leader, Marshawn Lynch, 11 carries, 51 yards. And for the Broncos first half leaders, passing, Trevor Siemian, 7 of 15, 88 yards, 2 interceptions. And for rushing, CJ Anderson, 10 carries for 65 yards. This has been your halftime report on AMN. Second half football coming up. Raiders will receive the first half kickoff. Welcome back to NFL football on AMN, presented to you by rosterresource.com, your source for up-to-date rosters for MLB, NFL, NBA, and NHL. Make sure to check out rosterresource.com for all the rosters. And so now, the Raiders will receive the second half kickoff to start as Cordero Patterson takes a knee, and the Raiders will start off at their own 25-yard line to start off the second half. As it's 2nd down and 10 now for the Raiders. Shotgun formation, handoff goes to Lynch right up the middle, and he's got a nice gain of around 7 on the play. tackled down by Keith Tandy, as he got injured towards the end of last week, but has come on strong this game. And so 3rd down and 3 now for the Raiders. Handoff goes to Lynch once more. 1st down and more, about midfield, as he gets down at the 50-yard line. That's a nice carry for Marshawn Lynch, who now has 15 carries for 73 yards. As the Raiders up to 109 rushing yards. Really lenient on the passing attack without their star quarterback, as McCarron throws on 1st down and finds Jared Cook. A gain of about 10, brought down for 2nd down and 1. Gain of about 9, correction, and brought down by Justin Simmons. And so 3rd down and 1, man in motion. That's Amari Cooper. He gets the end around, and that is read beautifully by the Denver Broncos. Keith Tandy played the edge and brought Amari down for a loss of 2. And now the Raiders are going for it. Blackjack Del Rio on 4th and 3, and Amari Cooper with his 4th catch of the day, as he is the Raiders receiving yards leader and has the 1st down now out to the 32-yard line. And so shotgun formation once more for the Raiders. Handoff goes to Lynch, taking it right up the gut, and he is brought down by a few Broncos, as Derek Wolfe is charged with the tackle. So 2nd down and 3 after a gain of 7. McCarron barking out some signals, going play action. Plenty of time in the pocket, nice block by Lynch, and finds Patterson over the middle. No, it is incomplete, as Darian Stewart with the ball ripped once more. A.J. McCarron hasn't been the whole reason for the Raiders' struggles on offense. But now 3rd down and 3. McCarron back to throw. Under pressure. Tries to take off, but runs into Zach Kerr for his 2nd sack of the game. And that'll be 4th down now for the Raiders. And so they'll settle for a field goal. Seabass out to attempt a 43-yarder. The kick is up, and it is true, right down the middle. And the Raiders take the first score of the game and have the lead of the game 3-0. Breaking the tie going into crunch time, as after 3, you're watching NFL football on AMN. Welcome back to NFL football on AMN. We are here for the 4th quarter. Raiders with the lead 3-0. Broncos will start off the quarter with the ball. Shotgun formation, CJ Anderson in the backfield, as Simeon goes play action under pressure and taken down, as Mario Edwards with a sack. Corey James brought the blitz and freed Mario Edwards for the 2nd level. So that'll be 2nd down and long now for the Broncos. Single back set, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Simeon back to throw, dropping back, time in the pocket, and finding Emmanuel Sanders down the field. 32-yard catch. He beat Garyon Conley in coverage. So far 3 catches for 65 yards for E-Man Sand. And so the Broncos have a 1st down into Raiders territory at the 37. Simeon goes play action and he's taken down, he lost the ball, but recovered by a Broncos player, as it's Ronald Leary who recovered it. Markel Lee forced the fumble, but a nice turn of events for the Broncos. Very fortunate, as the 2nd down and 18 now for the Broncos could be much worse. As Simeon back to throw, plenty of time over the middle, wide open, Benny Fowler, his 19-yard gain, his 3rd catch of the day, as Simeon has started to turn things around here in this 2nd half. And so now empty backfield, plenty of time to throw, but it eventually runs out, as it's Khalil Mack finally getting to Trevor Siemian, last year's Defensive Player of the Year, and breaking free to take him down. And so 3rd down and 17 now for the Broncos, as it's Jamal Charles back into the game. Out of the shotgun, Simeon, time to throw, but it's starting to run out, looking for Charles over the middle, and that'll bring up 4th down, but there is a flag on the play. And so the flag will be roughing the passer on PJ Dawson. And so that's an automatic 1st down for the Broncos, as they are now at the 11-yard line, 2nd down and 8. Into the red zone. And Simeon back to throw. Plenty of time in the pocket. Good protection. Looking for a receiver, and he has Virgil Green for a short 3-yard gain. Well, it could have been worse. 3rd down and 5 now for the Broncos. Simeon, empty backfield. Back to throw. Looking middle and finds Virgil Green once again. Tackled by Markel Lee, but not before getting the 1st down. And so the Broncos now 1st and goal once more at the 3-yard line, trying to punch it in. But a couple of false start penalties bumps him back to the 13-yard line. As Simeon back to throw under pressure and taken down. That's Bruce Irvin with a sack on Trevor Siemian. 15th tackle on the year for Bruce Irvin. as the Raiders now up to 7 sacks on the game. So 3rd down and goal at the 24-yard line after another false start penalty. As Simeon goes play action, time in the pocket, looking middle, looking right, goes to the end zone and incomplete. Looking for Demaryius Thomas, as that'll be a penalty, and it'll be holding on Jamal Charles, and so that penalty will be declined, and it'll be 4th down now for the Broncos. So out comes Brandon McManus to attempt a 51-yard field goal. Chance to tie the game. Kick is up, and it is true. Tie ball game here in Denver, 4th quarter. And so the Raiders will be getting the ball back, trying to break this tie. 5:19 left to go in the game. As McCarron comes out shotgun once more. Back to throw. Looking middle, looking left, and finds Michael Crabtree. 12-yard catch. Aqib Talib on the tackle. And Michael Crabtree beating the zone coverage right there. And so now 1st down at the 36-yard line. As McCarron hands it off to Lynch. He takes a carry. He's got some room, and he's brought down by Bradley Roby and Brandon Marshall for an 8-yard gain. And so 2nd down and 12. 2nd down and 2, correction, for the Raiders. And so now empty backfield, 4 wide set. As McCarron has some blitz, and he's picked off. That's Von Miller in coverage. Seth Roberts was the intended receiver. The 2nd interception of the game for A.J. McCarron. And Von Miller coming up huge. Usually it would be with his pass rush, but this time it was with his coverage. And so the Broncos, with over 2 minutes left to go, will try to run out this clock and get a field goal to win it. We get a score to win it, or take the lead. As Demaryius Thomas has a 9-yard catch, tackled by David Amerson. And so it'll be 3rd down in the inches now for the Broncos, but after another false start penalty, it'll be 3rd down and 5. And up goes to Charles, and he's met immediately by Mario Edwards. And so that'll bring up 4th down now for the Raiders. So they'll call a timeout and force the Broncos to kick a field goal, as they now have the lead 9-3 after a couple of field goals. And so now the Raiders come out shotgun formation on 1st down, trying to win this game. McCarron to throw towards the sideline, and is caught by Amari Cooper, but he didn't get out of bounds. The Raiders have no timeouts, so they have to hurry to the line. And so Amari Cooper with a bit of a bonehead play right there. 25 seconds left to go in the game. As McCarron looking for Cooper once again, and that pass is incomplete into triple coverage. And so that'll bring up 3rd down now for the Raiders. 2 more opportunities to get the 1st down on this game. 22 seconds left to go. As McCarron back to throw, looking for Cooper once again. Same play and same result. Incomplete in triple coverage. And so that'll bring up 4th down now for the Raiders. This is the game for the Raiders. McCarron, pistol formation. Lynch in the backfield. Max protection besides the 2 tight ends. As McCarron back to throw, under pressure, and he won't get a throw off. Derek Wolfe and Zach Kerr applied the pressure, and that'll be the ball game here in Denver, as the Denver Broncos come out and get the win here in their home crowd against one of their most hated rivals in the Oakland Raiders. As the Broncos turned the ball over multiple times in the first half, but the Raiders offense was absolutely stagnant, only mustering up 3 total points in the game. Forcing turnovers in the 4th quarter helped the Broncos get a victory here in Week 4 over their most hated rivals. So, Broncos with the dub in this one. Final score, 9-3. As I have been RJ West, your official voice of AMN, and on behalf of broadcast engineer Mario Resendez, statistician Slump TV, and marketing coordinator Kay Buckets, I'm saying so long from Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Make sure to tune in next time for another edition of NFL Football on AMN. Have a good one.